Governor, one of your fundraisers is a man by the name of Raghu Nayak, who also did fundraising for Blagojevich with Jackson Allies and attempted to influence the Senate appointment.
Who?
Raghu Nayak.
Oh.
I was wondering what voters should think about the fact that he has raised money for your campaign.
Well, he raised money before I was governor. I don't believe I've received any contributions since I've been governor.
I got a, this is about early release. So of the 56 who were sent back to prison, 40 were violated parole. That could be from anything from not passing a drug test to the violent crimes, and there were 17 of that. Did you ask corrections what the violations were?
No, I didn't know specifically the violations, but if they violate anything, they have to go back to prison behind bars.
Do you think it's important for the public to have known that there 17 of those were violent offenders?
Well, the list of names was provided to the Associated Press, and specifics were provided to them. This whole program, as I've said before, I suspended the moment I learned about it, and we're correcting it. Matter of fact, this week I named Mike McCotter, a 37-year veteran of the Chicago Police Department, to be our Chief of Public Safety at the Department of Corrections, and he'll go through each and every one of those individuals who are on any kind of list.
Governor, can I
Are
ask
you
you
going to
about
release
this?
the names of those?
The names are already been
What about the names of
Not
the
a-
people of the 1,000 non-violent offenders? We've been asking all week, and DOC will not release that list.
We released all of the names and the numbers.
That was the MGT push. This is the
Oh.
separate 1,000 non-violent offenders.
No, what you're talking about, the early release?
Correct.
There's only been about 100 and some odd have been released, have suspended that pending the arrival of Mike McCotter.
But will your office release the list of names?
Yeah, we'll release those names too. The same thing as we did before with the names and the numbers. With the numbers, you can tell people learn all about each and every person.
Governor, can I ask you a question that even some of your allies have posed to me when we talked about this on the phone just yesterday? Why release people like this when there was so little money involved? We've got a $10 or $12 billion shortfall, and we're talking really between 3 and 5 million here. It doesn't seem like the payoff was worth the risk. Some of these characters are accused now of attempted murder since they've been free.
Well, number one, with respect to this program, as I just said, where the director did not carry out my wishes, the mistake that he made is going to be corrected, and that's why I've put in place a plan that a very wise judge who's been involved in this area of criminal law for a long time recommended. I'm following his recommendations, and we intend to make sure the system is done right. As far as economy and government, there are many people out there who talk about cutting the size of government. Every department has to take place in that, including the Department of Corrections. We're going to take a look at making sure that we always have hardened criminals, predatory criminals, behind bars, and that's my goal. 13 states have been involved in this early release. It's hardly my first choice. The General Assembly made a choice not to have new revenue. They wanted more cuts. I'm trying to carry out the cuts across the board in state government. We've cut over $2 billion. No department can be exempt, but any time, with respect to public safety, if there's any question, I've suspended these programs, halted them, brought in top-notch people who have a record of public safety. Mike McCotter from the Chicago Department of Police Department has an outstanding record, and he's going to be our Chief Public Safety Officer at the Department of Corrections.
Congressman, did you talk with Dan Hines about his opinions on the third airport, and if so, how did Governor Quinn's plan on Piatone satisfy you more than Dan Hines?
What I can tell you, Abden, is that these mayors have collectively made a judgment that the myriad of interests that they represent, the myriad of economic development concerns that they represent, and the quality of leadership that Pat Quinn has shown in his role as governor of the state of Illinois has earned our endorsement. There's been no single criteria upon which I made my decision to support Governor Quinn. I don't believe there's a single criteria upon which any of these mayors, many of whom represent very different municipalities, arrived at making their decision to support Governor Quinn. But collectively, we agree that the sum total of all of Governor Quinn's parts, he's an extraordinary leader for our state at this time.
Okay, one last question, please.
Governor, it's my understanding that there will be an announcement Monday between you and Mayor Daley about McPeer and how to bring some more business there. I was wondering, without stealing too much of your thunder, if you can give us an idea of what that's going to look like.
Well, you have a reputation of jumping the gun.
I call it being aggressive.
This press conference is about one thing, south
But you
suburbs and
mentioned the need
economic
for
growth and
economic
jobs.
growth, and this is part of that.
You can wait a couple of days and you'll hear about that on Monday. But today, and I really want to end with this, it's extremely important that the people of the south suburbs of Chicago know that they are, my heart is ever at their service. I really feel this area has been given shortchanged over the years, hasn't got the proper attention from state government. I will make sure the attention is riveted like a laser on the south suburbs, on that airport, and all the other transportation improvements that we can make to make this a place where jobs are abundant, and that's our goal. Thank you. Thank you.
I understand.